step into the world of John D. Rockefeller, the embodiment of the American dream. As a monumental figure whose shadow still looms large over the corridors of business and philanthropy, his journey from modest beginnings to becoming the world's first billionaire is not just a tale of financial triumph, but also of resilience, vision, and a deep-seated desire to uplift humanity. Dive into the life of a man whose genius extended beyond boardrooms, where his immense wealth was rivaled only by his passion to leave the world better than he found it. Explore the legend, the entrepreneur, the philanthropist, and the enigma, John D. Rockefeller. Here are 8 financial lessons from John D. Rockefeller. The first financial lesson is all about a simple but powerful idea. Create your own path. Oh, John D. Rockefeller wasn't just a big shot in the business world. He was such a cool guy, always thinking outside the box and believing that just going along with everyone else wouldn't lead to anything amazing. He had this amazing talent for finding hidden opportunities and turning them into huge successes. It really made him stand out. His success wasn't just a lucky accident. It came from being brave enough to go where few others dared to go. Imagine it like this. While most people were happy with what they could easily get, Rockefeller was aiming for something bigger, discovering a whole new world of possibilities. So you might be wondering what made him go down this unique path. Let's take a trip back to the late 1800s to shed some light on this. Back in the day, railroads were the kings of transportation. They were the lifeline that connected people and places, and boy, did they attract investments like nobody's business. What about Rockefeller? He went in a different direction when everyone else went the other way. Instead of getting caught up in all the excitement about railroads, he actually saw a lot of potential in a completely different area: pipelines. Hey, while everyone else was obsessed with railroads, this guy had a different vision. He saw pipelines as the way to go for efficient oil transport in the future. Wow, this wasn't just a stroke of genius, it totally changed the industry. Oh, he realized that it was just as important to own the means of transporting oil as it was to extract it. Wow, this realization really pushed him into a whole new world of amazing possibilities. So what's the main thing we should take away from this? It's all about curiosity, having the courage to go against the norm, and understanding that the most valuable treasures are often found on unexplored paths. If Rockefeller had just followed what everyone else was doing, his name might not have been remembered throughout history like it is. Can you believe how bold he was to be different and take the road less traveled? It ended up causing huge changes in various industries. But here's the exciting part. This lesson isn't stuck in the history books. Oh, it's absolutely timeless. In our fast-paced world, innovation is still really important. You know, the next groundbreaking idea might not be obvious to everyone. It could be hidden away, just waiting for someone with a fresh perspective to discover it. Rockefeller's legacy goes way beyond just oil and wealth. It's really amazing how brave sailors are when they venture into unknown waters and face all kinds of challenges in search of new opportunities. As you go through your financial journey, let his story inspire you. Don't forget to seize those opportunities that others might miss, because you never know, they could be the key to your incredible success story. Let's move on to our next lesson, which is all about proven strategies for building wealth. It's all about embracing individualism and charting your own unique course. It's all about finding your own path and being true to yourself. This lesson isn't just about trying new things. It's about creating your own legacy, starting new trends, and having a unique vision. As we go deeper, let's allow the unstoppable spirit of John D. Rockefeller to shed light on our understanding. Rockefeller wasn't just some ordinary name in the world of business, you know? Oh, it was quite interesting to see how he went about his financial journey. While others were influenced by popular opinion, he had his own unique approach and orchestrated everything according to his own tune. When we talk about charting your unique course, we're basically saying that it's all about having the guts to explore new territories with a clear purpose and unwavering confidence. Rockefeller's journey in the late 19th century really captures this spirit, you know? Back when everyone was mesmerized by the shine of silver and gold, he saw something valuable in an unexpected choice: oil. Back in the day, when people didn't really care about oil, this guy had a knack for seeing its hidden value. But you know what's even more interesting? His journey takes a fascinating turn here. Instead of just jumping on the oil drilling bandwagon, he decided to go in a different direction and became a pioneer in refining. You know, back when everyone was obsessed with finding oil, Rockefeller had this brilliant idea to turn crude oil into something that people would actually want to buy. This wasn't just a detour, it was a game changer. It transformed something that was considered useless into something valuable. Picture yourself at a crossroads where everyone around you is heading in the same direction. But there you are, confidently going against the flow, following your own path. Oh, that was Rockefeller, right? I'm not just a walker, I'm a pathfinder. Wow, his approach was really bold and clever. He didn't just try to make oil better, he really wanted to change how oil is refined. He wanted to make it more efficient and improve the quality. You know, he really wasn't one to settle for mediocrity, and that's what led to Standard Oil becoming such a huge industrial powerhouse. But the main point here is really deep. It's not like I'm being defiant just for the sake of it. It's all about finding your own perspective, spotting hidden opportunities, and then having the courage to turn that vision into a reality. Think of Rockefeller not just as a wealthy businessman, but as the ultimate trailblazer in the world of business. While lots of people were captivated by the allure of gold, he was more interested in finding a different kind of treasure, the endless possibilities of innovation. Now let's move on to another fascinating story from our collection of secrets, which are lessons from some unexpected sources. It's pretty cool how we can find wisdom in the most unlikely places, right? So, here are a few things. We're going to explore an interesting moment in finance called the Shoeshine Boy and the Rockefeller Epiphany. It's a story that not only tells us what happened, but also shows us how unpredictable financial insights can be. It's definitely worth diving into. Picture this. It's 1928, and the bustling streets of New York City are alive with excitement and hope for a bright future. In the midst of all this, we come across the legendary John D. Rockefeller, who was known for his incredible financial skills and industrial power. On a beautiful sunny day, with the city bustling around him, Rockefeller decides to take a little break and get his shoes shined. Just a regular chore, nothing too exciting. While the brushes are swishing and polishing, Rockefeller and the young shoeshine boy are having a casual chat. But here's the thing. Instead of talking about everyday stuff or boring thoughts, the young guy, in a surprising turn of events, starts giving stock market advice. To someone just watching, this might seem like a playful and bold conversation. But for Rockefeller, it was a moment of realization unfolding. Rockefeller was really intrigued by the advice, not because of the specific details. Yeah, it was more about the implication of the moment. It's pretty concerning that a shoeshine boy, who's not really involved in finance, was giving out stock tips like it was no big deal. That's definitely a major warning sign. It was like everyone was caught up in the excitement of the stock market, even those who didn't know much about it. Rockefeller, the experienced investor, figured out what was really going on. The market was turning into a place driven by emotions, rather than strategic investment. He figured that when people get really excited about something, it often leads to overvaluing and acting irrationally. He looked at the signs and decided to make a bold move that would solidify his reputation as a market expert. He didn't get caught up in all the market frenzy and decided to sell his stocks, choosing to be cautious instead of following the crowd. And then, in 1929, there was this huge market crash that happened. Wow, it was really tough for investors. They were feeling so secure, but then their wealth just vanished. It was really disheartening to see. Yeah, but definitely not Rockefeller. He stayed isolated because he listened to the advice of an unexpected source, the shoeshine boy. Oh, this story is more than just a financial fable. It's all about understanding market sentiment, considering different viewpoints, and trusting your gut instincts. You know, Rockefeller really showed us something important. It's a timeless truth that sometimes the minority's perspective is actually more astute than all the noise from the majority. Hey, just a friendly reminder, you never know when you might stumble upon some incredible wisdom, even in the most ordinary situations or from unexpected sources. Keep an open mind. In finance, it's not always about who's the loudest that matters the most. You know, sometimes the most profound insights come from those quiet, unexpected whispers. Let's move on to our next enlightening lesson. Mastering emotional resilience. It's a key strategy that can really help you build your wealth. If you're finding these insights helpful, let us know by leaving a comment with the word "more." We'd love to hear from you and use your feedback to shape our future content. Imagine a time when the gentle glow of kerosene lamps filled the night with warmth and light. Oh, you won't believe what John D. Rockefeller did. He practically transformed the night into day all by himself with his monopoly on kerosene. But like any great empires, change was bound to happen. Check out the electric light. a total game changer that seriously shook up Rockefeller's power. Just picture how he must have felt. All those emotions swirling inside him. Anxiety, worry, maybe even a hint of despair. But here's the thing about Rockefeller. He had this incredible ability to stay calm and composed, which really showed how brilliant he was. He was different from most people because he didn't let his emotions take control when he saw the possibility of his empire declining. Instead, he showed incredible emotional discipline. Instead of giving in to sadness, he found a glimmer of hope. Oh, he totally saw that one era ending and a new one beginning. Well, even though kerosene was losing its dominance to electricity, there was a new and exciting opportunity on the horizon: the rise of gasoline-powered transportation. Wow, this pivot really shows how skilled Rockefeller is at handling his emotions. Instead of getting all caught up in his emotions, he chose to rely on calm and rational thinking. It's like he saw emotions as unpredictable weather, here one moment and gone the next, while his strategy was like a reliable compass that always pointed in the right direction. Switching from using kerosene lamps to fueling the future with gasoline wasn't just a strategic move. It demonstrated his unwavering skill in overcoming challenges with confidence and determination. It was like he was saying, "Sure, electricity might be more popular than my lamps, but just wait until you see the amazing things I can do with the engines of the future." What can we learn from this chapter of his legacy that is really valuable? Emotional resilience is such a powerful thing, don't you think? In the ever-changing world of business and finance, it's no surprise that we'll encounter emotional ups and downs along the way. Instead of just reacting, we should focus on being responsive. When you encounter unexpected challenges or big changes, just remember to channel your inner Rockefeller. Hey, why not try tapping into the power of rational thinking? It can be pretty helpful when it comes to facing challenges. Instead of seeing them as problems, try looking at them as hidden opportunities. Try shifting your perspective from focusing on what you're losing right now to considering the potential gains that could come your way. As we go through our financial journeys, it's really important to realize that being in control of our emotions doesn't mean we're being unfeeling. In fact, it shows how strong we are. Just like Rockefeller turned a possible setback into a remarkable achievement, we can also transform challenges into opportunities for incredible success. Let's move on to our next enlightening lesson. Let's talk about the art of delayed gratification. It's all about learning to wait for things instead of getting instant satisfaction. It can be a pretty cool skill to have, don't you think? As we dive into the next part of our journey towards building wealth, let's talk about a philosophy that has stood the test of time: the art of delayed gratification. If you find yourself connecting with these ideas, I hope they're inspiring you to pursue your own financial goals. Rockefeller had a great saying that really captures the essence of taking risks. Don't be afraid to give up something good for something even better. To really understand how powerful this statement is, let's go back to Rockefeller's early years. Rockefeller didn't grow up with fancy things since he was born in a humble setting, but he had a natural understanding of how value and commerce work. Imagine this young, ambitious Rockefeller, hustling and bustling with small business ideas right in his own neighborhood. Oh, he was quite the entrepreneur. Whether he was buying candy to sell or turning ordinary stones into unique crafts to sell, he always had a knack for finding ways to increase their value. But what really made him stand out was his ability to manage his finances well. Instead of spending his modest earnings on temporary pleasures, Rockefeller showed impressive self-control by choosing to save instead. So, after carefully considering his options, he ultimately made a big decision. He decided to lend his savings to someone his father knew, but at a reasonable interest rate. This wasn't just about money, it represented the start of his investment philosophy. The idea of earning money without actively working for it and using money to make more money. One important lesson we can learn from his early experiences is the value of choosing long-term rewards over immediate indulgences. While a lot of his peers may have been tempted by the appeal of the present, Rockefeller had his sights set on a future filled with long-term success. In today's world, it's pretty common to see people getting caught up in the allure of luxury. Fancy cars, extravagant vacations, and high-end fashion. But even though they seem to have it all, their financial situation is often quite delicate. They're drawn in by the allure of instant satisfaction, and in doing so, they put at risk the potential for long-term success. Yeah, it's interesting how those narratives reflect Rockefeller's perspective. Giving in to the current temptations could potentially hinder our efforts to achieve future success. Hey, as we sail through the unpredictable world of finance and chasing our dreams, let's take some inspiration from Rockefeller's wisdom. It's not just about making money, it's about being smart with how we spend it, about knowing the difference between short-term enjoyment and long-term benefits. Just remember, sometimes what seems good in the moment can actually be a distraction from something truly great. Don't be fooled by temporary allure when there's genuine wealth and contentment waiting for you. Why not try looking at things from a different angle, focusing on your goals for the future, and making the most of your resources? They can really do wonders for you. Go ahead and embrace the promise of greatness, even if it means you have to hold back for a little while. And now let's move on to our next interesting lesson. Let's talk about embracing change as an opportunity. It's all about seeing change in a positive light and being open to the possibilities it brings. Rockefeller's journey is really inspiring because it shows us how being adaptable isn't just a characteristic, but also a smart strategy. Imagine this. Back in the day when Standard Oil was ruling the roost, kerosene was lighting up homes and streets like nobody's business. But just like sand slipping through an hourglass, time brought some cool new stuff, and electricity came along and started to overshadow kerosene's rule. A lot of people in Rockefeller's position would have probably struggled and felt hopeless with all that chaos. But not him, right? Rockefeller was really smart because he could see into the future and was able to adapt to different situations. Instead of feeling sad about kerosene losing its popularity, he changed his focus and saw the huge potential in using the byproducts of oil refining to his advantage. He was really smart and took advantage of the changing market to establish himself in the growing petrochemical industry. He started with lubricants and waxes and even expanded into pharmaceuticals. It wasn't just about being good at business, it really showed a proactive and adaptable way of thinking. But Rockefeller was not only adaptable in business, he also excelled in other areas. Oh, and he also cared about making a positive difference in society. He noticed that there was a growing focus on medical advancements and health, so he decided to adjust his philanthropic efforts to match. So because of this, they ended up creating the Rockefeller Institute for Medical Research, which is now called Rockefeller University. This institution would have a really important role in making medical breakthroughs, which just goes to show how Rockefeller was such a visionary who knew how to meet the needs of society. Rockefeller's journey teaches us an important lesson about how to navigate through the ups and downs of life. In a world that's always changing, being adaptable is the key to long-term success. Just like Rockefeller, who smoothly moved from the peak of kerosene to the beginning of petrochemicals, and from old-fashioned business strategies to groundbreaking philanthropy, we should also see change as an opportunity for untapped potential, rather than a hurdle. Can you imagine if Rockefeller had stubbornly stuck with kerosene while the rest of the world was moving towards electricity? It's like supporting horse-drawn carriages when we have electric cars now. He really hit the nail on the head. If you want to grow and succeed, you've got to constantly adjust, reassess, and think outside the box. His journey really highlights something that will always be true. Being able to adapt to change isn't just about surviving. It's about finding ways to thrive, to create new opportunities, and to discover amazing possibilities. Hey, as we go through this crazy journey called life, let's take a page from Rockefeller's book. He believed in embracing change, making the most of its possibilities, and letting it lift us up like a gentle breeze. To continue our enlightening exploration of wealth creation, let's now dive into a lesser-known but crucial aspect of achieving success, the power of mentorship. Just like before, this lesson takes inspiration from the esteemed John D. Rockefeller. Rockefeller's achievements are truly impressive and strategic, but it's important to acknowledge an underlying aspect that shouldn't be overlooked. As he journeyed towards success, he always cherished the advice and wisdom of those who had already experienced the same journey. His business strategies weren't just a result of his genius, He actually worked hard to refine and improve them by constantly learning and seeking guidance. For Rockefeller, mentorship wasn't just about having someone superior guiding him. It was all about tapping into their wisdom, drawing from their experiences and avoiding any potential pitfalls along the way. He made sure to have veterans, industry experts, and wise people around him who really influenced the way he saw things. Oh, those relationships were symbiotic, huh? As he was absorbing all their knowledge, he also brought in some fresh energy, innovation, and perspective to the table. Can you give me a prime example? Oh, let me tell you about his interactions with those experienced oil magnates when he first started out. Instead of seeing them as competition, he saw them as really valuable mentors who helped him understand all the ins and outs of the oil industry. Their guidance, along with his vision, set the stage for what would eventually become the legendary Standard Oil. But mentorship wasn't just a one-way street for Rockefeller, you know? As he climbed higher and higher, he became a source of wisdom for other entrepreneurs who were just starting out. He really believed in the circle of knowledge, making sure that his insights and experiences were passed down to the next generation. This created a culture where everyone was constantly growing and learning from each other. So, what's the main point of this lesson? You know, achieving financial success is usually not a journey you take on your own. No matter where you are in your journey, whether you're just starting out or have been on the road for a while, there's always room to learn and grow. Make sure to find mentors who share your values and vision. Let their experiences guide you, helping you navigate challenges and seize opportunities. As you're making progress in your journey towards success, remember to lend a helping hand to those who are following in your footsteps. I'm here to share my wisdom, help you reach your potential, and support others in their journey to success. Oh, absolutely. Mentorship goes beyond just personal growth. It's all about creating a community of vibrant and flourishing minds. The last but not the least is having a strong ethical foundation. His upbringing in the Baptist faith had a significant impact on John D. Rockefeller's life. It instilled in him the value of having personal integrity, working diligently, and giving back to others. The manner in which he made a significant difference in the world via his charity work was illustrative of the high moral standards to which he adhered. For instance, he established the Rockefeller Foundation in 1913 with the intention of making the world a more favorable environment for people of all walks of life. Because he had such a strong conviction in the value of being charitable throughout his life, he bequeathed more than $500 million to various causes. But here's the thing. His personal ethic and certain of his business methods were not quite compatible with one another. People's perceptions of him in his private life were consistently that he was someone who had honesty, who was profoundly dedicated to his faith, and who was loyal to his family. His personality is a fascinating concoction of qualities, all of which serve to emphasize how essential it is for us to ensure that our professional acts are consistent with the moral principles we uphold in our personal lives. It serves as a useful reminder of how the alignment of these factors, or the absence thereof, may have an effect that lasts for a very long time and shape the legacy that we leave behind. As we wrap up our exploration of John D. Rockefeller's life and principles, it's important to remember that these lessons are not just relics of the past. Oh, those treasures are truly timeless. They have this amazing ability to guide us towards a prosperous future, helping us gain both wealth and wisdom. If you've enjoyed this deep dive, feel free to share this content, subscribe for more insights, and don't forget to let us know what you think. We appreciate your feedback. It really motivates us to keep creating more enlightening content for you. Just wanted to remind you to keep tapping into your inner Rockefeller. Remember, wealth isn't just about the journey, but also about the legacy we leave behind. Take care and catch you later.